Welcome, everyone. We're going to start off on our hands and our knees and just simply working into this cat-cow. I like to think of it as angry cat and happy dog. So we just take a bit of time to go into the angry cat and really feel into the angry cat. And the sort of some of the details of the angry cat are that we try to dig our fingertips into the floor as if we've got claws. We're trying to get the claws out. And so they're digging into the floor. And we're also trying to press the top of the feet into the floor as well. We're tucking the tail under and lifting the belly to the spine and lifting the diaphragm up, and the head's curling down. The shoulders are wide. And then a really important detail, I think, is the hands and knees are trying to slide away from each other. They don't want to move. We want the movement to be through the spine or through the body. We take a few breaths there. I find it really nice to just sort of go deep into the angry cat. So you're not just changing. You're just going and reaching and staying there for a few breaths. Then the opposite of the angry cat is the happy dog. So we lengthen the belly. You sort of sink the hips to the belly to the floor. We're trying to pull the hands towards the knees, and we're trying to pull the knees towards the hands. And so it probably comes into the heel of the hand. And the feet, my feet get pulled off the floor. It's not that I'm trying to lift them off the floor. It's really this action of pulling hands and knees together. Trying to keep my shoulders wide and down, trying to keep my arms straight. And then I feel a bit the triceps and around the shoulders and the belly stretching and lengthening. And then we go back into that angry cat. So hands, fingers, hands and knees pressing away from each other, fingertips pressing into the floor, top of the feet pressing into the floor. And lifting into that back body, into that back spine, curling, rounding, trying to just find more and more push through the arms to get more and more lift into the back calf. And then one more time into that happy dog, hands and knees pulling towards each other. Trying to keep the arms extended, shoulders down away from the ears for both of these angry cats and happy dogs. And see if you can get any sensation of stretch into the belly. And then slowly from here, let's just find well, we're just going to find a bit of a neutral and then see if we can just circle our spine. So a visualization I was given one time, a long time ago, was if you were in the barrel and your head and your tail is sticking out the barrel. You're trying to scrape out that barrel with the spine. Trying to reach every edge, every corner of that barrel to really work and up and round and over and down, and then both directions. So you're just trying to get that spine moving everywhere, all over, curling, rounding. And breathing. And let's see if we can also move on the horizontal. Can you move on the horizontal, focusing on the shoulders traveling around the hands? Forwards to the side, backwards to the other side. And so we just get that sort of mobility at the top of the spine. Then we go back the other way, forwards to the side, backwards to the other side. And then doing exactly the same thing, but now focusing around the knees and the hips. I like to bring my knees together and I like to bring my hands a bit wider. And again, this sort of side, forwards, focusing the traveling around the knees. So they're sort of more focused on the base of the spine, on the hips. And seeing how much we can really move and just stretch and loosen the joints in the hips. And maybe you want to move the hands or the way it sort of comes into and out of the hands for me as I move around. And we go back around the other way, both directions. And then once we've done that, let's just come into, so we'll build a few more things that we're trying to work. So the archer press up. So we're gonna do gentle archer press ups. So you probably got quite a lot of weight on the knees. And you just need to turn that phone on silent, otherwise I keep doing that. So um, and the hand's quite wide. Hands quite wide, turned out to the side. It's going to give the best angle. So you could do this in a full press up, but we're not doing it like that today. We're going to see, can we try Fingers turned out wide. We're going to try and bring one shoulder towards the floor, towards the other hand, and then we come back and we go the other way. And so here we're just keeping the knees where they are and getting a bit of twist and turn and movement through the arms, through the shoulders. Might be quite difficult. You can put more weight into the legs if you need. But can you get one arm straight and the other arm bent? I like to point the fingers outwards a little bit. If the hands want to twist and turn a bit, then they can. We're just trying to get that movement. If you wanted to make it stronger, you just come further forwards with the shoulders. It makes it heavier in the hand. And you can make it as strong or as gentle as you like. We're more than sort of making strong press ups in these sort of various things. We're trying to just get this mobility through the spine, this mobility through the upper spine, thinking of moving the shoulders, and sometimes we're moving the hip. That's the opposite of that, is to find our way down onto the heels and just see if we can roll the hips side to side. So we're just seeing, oh, can we just get the bum to the floor? So it's sort of the same thing. And we're just having that wriggle through the base of the spine, see if we could roll over the shins, seeing how deep we could keep the hips towards the heels while we're rolling side to side. And then slowly from here, let's find our way back into our tabletop. And in the tabletop, we're going into let's go into our happy dog. This happy dog spine, this long belly, and can be quite fun to sort of see if you could wag the tail and get into the energy of a happy dog. You can even pant, quite nice and fun, but we're trying to here keep that sense of stretch in the belly and the hands maybe pulling back towards the heels. We're trying to keep that shape of the spine. The happy dog is the shape of the spine. And then we're trying to sit down. So we sit down, but it's not a child pose. We don't take the head down. We're still up. With this idea of a dog, we're sort of interested in the room and someone's about to throw the ball for us. We're trying to like lengthen through the front of the body, trying to pull the hands back towards the knees, but they're not going to move on the floor. So we're getting that front body long and it's lengthening into the top of the thighs, lengthening into the belly. Maybe it pinches at the top of the thighs a little bit. And you're just sort of breathing there. And that's our happy dog. And we're going to see, can we just try and travel forwards and backwards with a happy dog? And just as far as you get, you sort of work that. We're trying as we come forward not to bend the elbows if we can. So we're just going to get limited where the wrists say, oh, that's enough. Or they won't move or something painful or whatever. And we come back, bum towards the heels. Let's see if we can now, with the bum on the heels, go into the angry cat. So now we're trying to push. As we push, we're trying to lift the belly off the legs and curl the spine. And find that length and breathe. If you can, shoulders could go wide here. And let's just stay bum on the heels and see if we can change. Happy dog to angry cat. So even with the angry cat, it's not a child pose. You're sitting down to your heels and your arms are out in front, but you're seeing if you can lift the belly off the legs. So when the head goes down, the belly's trying to lift off the legs. And when we're going the opposite way, we're belly towards the legs, heart and chest lifting. And let's see if we can make that angry cat spine and stay in the angry cat. And then from there, travel forwards into the hands and see if you can maintain that lift into the back body, that tucking under of the tailbone, that working of the spine, just as far as you can go. Something will tell you stop, or you'll have to change the spine. We're seeing, can we pay attention to what the spine's doing? If we had to change the spine, that's we've reached an edge. We don't want to do that. So we're just trying to travel forward and backward with that angry cat. And that makes the arms work quite hard. We're in that. Then we see, can we lengthen back into the belly, back into the happy dog next time we're down? And we want to try to reach this happy dog to an upward dog. So we're going to see, can we reach the hands a bit further forward, but still looking up, still lengthening up, still pulling those hands back towards us. And then we're going to travel forwards, trying to maintain the spine and see, can I get to my hands? Can I get my hips to the floor yet? I might get stuck somewhere along the way. If you can get the hips to the floor, great. If you can't get stuck, you come back. Still in that happy dog, and you just take the hands a bit further forwards again. And then you try again, see if you can come forwards all the time, trying to maintain that happy dog Could you reach those hips towards the floor until it turns into an upward dog? And then we find our way all the way back a couple of times. We work that bum back, trying to maintain that happy dog, just so that we're being really specific about what we're doing with the spine as best as we can. And then next time we find our way forwards, all the way to that upward dog, we're going to see if we can turn our upward dog into an angry cat upward dog. So here, we're going to see, can we try to tuck the tail under? Can we try to push into the hands and hollow? So the hips are trying to push forwards and the heart is trying to come back because it comes a bit more into a bit of a plank. See if you can work those fingertips into the floor. Can you stretch across the back of the shoulder? And then also see if you can press the top of the feet into the floor. Maybe you could lift the knees by pressing the top of the feet. You're trying to work, so it becomes quite a plank, angry cat plank, if you could, on the top of the feet. And then we try to relax into that happy dog. So we try to work that spine and open back into that happy dog. And if it's too much to lift the knees off the floor, you don't have to. If the wrists or the hands or something say, I can't get there, then you've reached another edge. And we're not looking to force our way through these edges. It's not no pain, it's no gain sort of thing. It's more that we're trying to just feel the body, explore what the spine can do, and the arms, and the whole body, explore what it can do, and feel it, and be aware of it. So if ever the body says, no, it can't do that, then just don't run away. Don't run away, but don't force your way through. Go and have a look, say hello. Let's see if we can reach those hands forwards and the bum backwards. And now we're going to take it into a child pose. We'll just let the head try to come down. And I like extended child pose if that's uncomfortable for you. You could do just make a regular child. But here, those hands extended forward, the shoulders trying to come wide, the head trying to surrender down to the floor. It's like we're pulling the spine a little bit longer while surrendering in. And breathing. Let's see if we can find our way back up. We're going to see if we can do all of, well, some things, some changes of shape of the spine in one day. So we're going to stand on the right leg and bring the left leg forwards. See if you can try to keep that right leg vertical. If you need anything underneath the knee for padding, absolutely fine. We're not trying to hurt the knee here. We're seeing, can we flex that left foot and get that left leg nice and strong and straight? And then we want to reach our hand down to the floor. Now, if we can't reach the floor, have a book, have a block underneath, something underneath the hands, because we want to keep the arms as they are. We want to try to flex that left foot, and then we're seeing, can we change the spine? So the first thing we're doing is pushing into the hands. We're going to try to make our angry cat, keeping the left leg straight, trying to tuck the tail under, trying to lift into the back half. And this will take the pressure off the left leg, hopefully, and it doesn't feel it's so stretching, but the back is stretching. If you can here, try to press into the top of that back leg, the top of that, for me, it's the right foot behind the left foot forward. So we're just sort of seeing, can we get that active, pushing through the arms, active, pushing through the back ankle, lifting into the spine, shoulders down away from the ears. Then the opposite of this, we're trying not to change the shape of the legs. We're just trying to change the spine, see if we can look up and see if we could maybe pull the hands towards that back knee. See if you could stick the tail out. How much can you work the whole spine? We're trying to lengthen into the belly and into the intensity of the back of that front leg. So you're feeling those hamstrings work and stretch and lengthen. And we're breathing at the same time. And then let's go back into that angry cat. So we're really interested, if we can, if we notice that angry cat, we're interested in the edges of the movement. So we're going to get strong through the middle of the movement anyway. But at the edges of the movement, we will not get strong. If we can get stronger at the edges of the movement, then we'll be able to find more engagement. The body will find more wriggle. Let's go back into that happy dog if you're in that angry cat. So you're sort of working into the hamstrings. You can pulse between them quicker or slower, but not too fast. In general, what happens when we get sick? what happens when everything goes wrong is something has to slow down. With, like sort of we break apart the body, suddenly we have to stop and slow down. We get a bit sick, unwell, suddenly we have to stop doing everything else. It's about slowing down because healing is going slowly. Healing is slowing down and feeling the body. In terms of our awareness, well, let's just see if we can go a bit side to side. So we're going to try and travel side to side before we talk about that. So we're just going to try to keep the hands forward of the knees, try to keep the front leg extended and sort of above that back knee. But we're just going to see, can we lean the right hand to the side and hang the hips to the right? As you do that, maybe you grab the hold of the left foot with the left hand or the left shin if you can't reach the foot. And the idea here is how much can you hang the hips to the side and just sort of feel in and hang. And then we go back and we try to do it the other way. So we bring the left hand wide. We try to grab the foot with the other hand or the shin, the ankle. We're trying to sit down, but not sit all the way down. So we're like, one side and the other side. And again, you can linger in these places if something strong, intense feels like it's linger in those edges. Take the time, don't go too fast. So be trying to trying to heal the body or open the body, be kind to the body, let it become more active and happy. Let's see if from there if we can bring that left leg in. So we're just going to stand up and we're going to bring the sole of the left foot down. Morning, Sandra. And from here, we're trying to see, let's just come up. We're going to do a bit of Karate Kid. So the hands are there for balance because we don't have any ankle in the knee. We're going to try to get that left foot off the floor. So we've got tiptoes. You can be here for a bit, but then we want to get off the floor. And it's going to wobble, probably going to wobble. And so you're like, wow, wow, wow. And if you want to, you could try, and again, if you can, slow motion, try Karate Kid. Hi-ya. And you're trying to kick, and you might fall over, but you're trying to, as slow as you can. How high could you kick? Can you keep, mostly important, can you try and keep that left foot off the floor so you're learning how to stack the body and breathe? And then we'll just bring that left leg all the way down after we've had a bit of time. Here we're going to see if we can angry cat the base of the spine, but we're going to try to happy dog the upper spine. So now we're sort of mixing the spines. And we're seeing how much can we open into the heart, into the chest. And you're welcome to support the back. You're welcome to anything with the hand. To go to a depth, you might try bring one hand towards the foot down here behind. We're trying to still lengthen that lower back, maybe drive those hips forwards. If you do get one hand towards the foot behind, it's fine to stay with the hands on the back. But if you do get one hand to the foot behind, then I like to try to reach the other hand long to try and find that extension through the belly. And this is very different one side and the other. So let's see if we do this one side. It could be one hand supporting the back there. It's too far to the foot. We don't want to stick the bum out together. We're trying to open through that front body. We do the same the other side. So we're trying to get that angry cat tail, that happy dog heart. And we see maybe the other hand could come back and down. You could reach the foot, great. If you can't, you can support the back. Trying to open through the front of the hip, through the belly, through the heart, through the chest, and reach maybe long, up or up and back. And breathe. And then let's see if we can find our way back up. Now we're going to bring both hands inside that front leg, down to the floor. So they're right in line with that front leg. And we're going to just see here, hands grounded if we can, fingers if it's too much for the hand. Nice sort of square shape with the leg. Then we're trying to work again the spine into that angry cat. So can you press into those fingers? Can you press into the top of that back right leg and tuck the tail under and lift the diaphragm and push and round and feel that angry cat? And can you feel things in the spine? Sensation is the body changing. That's what it's communicating with the sensation. Let's look up and forward and try to happy dog. So trying to pull the hand towards that back knee and trying to pull the back knee forwards. And can you find that length in the belly, or maybe it's all in the hip? And then we'll just work that a few times. But if you're comfortable here, you might decide, oh, I want to try to get down deeper. So you might go to bent arms. If I take the hands forward, you might one day get down to the elbows, but you're still grounded through that front foot, maybe one elbow. And again, if you got there, however far you get, see if you could try to fix the arms where they are and try to work the spine. It doesn't matter where we get to because we're, in terms of the physical shape, if you're on your hands or on your elbows, It's all the same. We're just trying to feel the spine, move the spine, and see what we can do, one shape of the spine and the other. And sometimes when the spine is more extended, when the body's more extended, you won't be able to make so much movement, and that's fine as well. It's more about the intention of movement and the engagement of those muscles. While we're here with that front leg forward, left leg forward, and we're going to see, can we just come up with the body and see if we can get the right elbow over the left leg. So now we're going to try to cat cow or angry cat happy dog with our body in twist. So the right arm over the left leg, we're trying to pull and twist the shoulders around. You might want to keep the left hand on the thigh. You might want to bring the hands into prayer so you can get this active push. But wherever we get to, can you then try to also work the spine, this sense of angry catness? So the belly is working, trying to pull away from the leg, the knee is pushing against the arm is pushing against the leg. And then we're going to try to happy dog and see if we can open the spine. Still trying to twist and pull, but also trying to angry cat and happy dog. That shape of the spine, that tail tucking under, pushing into those hands, twisting, rounding, hollowing the belly, and then that lengthening into the belly, trying to stick the tail out behind, opening the heart, opening the chest. And then slowly from here, let's let that go, and we'll see if we can do all of that on the other side. So bring the right leg forwards. We're trying to, or the other leg forward if it's the other side of you, it doesn't matter. We're trying to flex the foot, standing on top of this knee, trying to reach our hands down to the floor. So this leg, if it's not fully straight, then just we're trying to get it as straight as we can. It's okay. It's always a work in progress, the whole practice. It's about the journey, not the destination. Trying to get that leg as straight as you can, with hands to the floor if possible, or hands to the blocks. If you're on the blocks, you've got different heights. So if you can get down to a bit lower, that's great. But it's if not, it's also fine. We're just trying to here get to work the spine. So we've got this angry cat. Let's push into the hands, push into the fingers. With the angry cat, I like to try and press the back foot into the floor, trying to tuck the tail under, and feeling the sensations that come to surface. You've got that angry cat, and then you've got the happy dog, and the happy dog, we're trying to lengthen out the belly, putting the hands towards the back knee towards the hands. A lot things don't move. The things that we want to move are the spine in between. So that movement, the placement of the hands and the knees and legs and stuff stays the same. The sensations change. Mostly we change the spine when we push and pull into those hands. Seeing if we can just access the edge of the movement. Also, haven't talked about the breath very much there. Talked a lot, but haven't talked about the breath. So see if you can breathe the changes, or take a few breaths in one side, take a few breaths in each side. And if the breath can be deeper, be slower and fuller, sense of healing in that deep breath. And a gentleness to the breath, not that we're trying to exhale slowly with a by tightening the lips. Ideally, we breathe through the nose because there is not so much tightening of the nose. It's harder. We can't tighten the nose so much, but we can breathe deeply, and we can just let the breath out slowly. Then the breath is controlled also from that middle of the spine, all that stuff. And you can change your spine faster or slower as you choose. Let's see, where do we come from here? We're coming the right leg. We're coming side to side, so we keep that right leg forward. See if we can lean. So if we bring the left hand wide, we're hanging towards the side with the hips. And maybe as you come forward, you could reach for the right ankle or right foot and just try to lean. So it's quite strong in the arm. And you're sort of hanging the hips out to the side, still with quite a lot of forward fold. And then coming back and doing the same on the other side. But feels like more of a sitting, almost sitting down, hanging the hips to the floor. Again, this idea of forward if you can, that you might reach the ankle or the foot a bit, that we're sort of working into that forward fold and exploring a bit of movement through the hip. We're not sitting all the way down. And then this one, I tend to go a bit quicker side to side. But my quick is never that quick. It's always quite slow. So it's just that we're moving, feeling, I had this guy live next door at university a long, long time ago, and it was actually in fish ponds. So I think, Elena, you're not far from there. And there's a few football pitches, like a sort of 15 or 20 football pitches somewhere near this sort of as you go into town, if you go driving up from towards fish ponds, and there's sort of, I don't know, like, this is a big field, lots of football pitches, and this guy, he would drive past it every day for 2 years. And one time we were making plans to go and see, to do something. He was like, "Oh, where should we go?" I suggested those football pitches, and he'd driven past it every day, a couple of years, and he'd never seen it because he was always probably driving too fast and maybe heading the wrong place. But that's why slowing down. You see different things when you slow down, and that's what we're trying to do in terms of the internal of the body. Um, yeah, let's so there we're bringing the right leg or the front leg in there and coming up with the body with just a little bit of slow motion Karate Kid. If you bit of movement in the wrists and the elbows, this is to help balance. So the movement is just there to help balance. Hands high, I find it quite helpful. Trying to get the foot onto tiptoes, trying to get the foot off the floor. Wow, and just hang out there. As well as sort of having a bit of fun with that. Could I Karate Kid? Yeah. You could also try to make it more challenging if you wanted by trying to hold on to the knee or the ankle or the foot. And that sort of takes more, puts more stability into the body. I think it's quite fun. Anyway, let's right foot down. We're seeing, can we try to find this angry cat at the base of the spine? So as we try and tuck the tail under, it's sort of beginning to open through the front of that left hip. And we keep that angry cat in the base of the spine, but then we're seeing, can we try to sort of almost just this upper body, try to work in the opposite direction? Fine to stay with the hands on the hips, or to do anything you like. Maybe you would like to support the head with the hands. Ultimately, I'm going to sort of see if I can reach one hand down behind to see if I could get a little support there. Still trying to angry cat, just trying to get that support through the front of the stretch through the front of the hips. That free hand might come up and back. You're trying to find that extension. If it's too far, feel free the back hand to support the lower back. We don't want to be pinching the back, but if we can, we're trying to open and stretch into the front body. Wow, and then we could find our way all the way back up. Let's try a little bit the same with the other hand. Push, strong angry cat at the very base of the spine to keep the lower back happy. Right hand up and back behind. It's harder this way if you can't reach the foot behind without closing the hip. Then feel free to support the back. The left hand can reach up and long. And you find that angry cat tail, happy dog head. And we're seeing our heart and see if we can find our way all the way back up. Wow, that can really work strong into the quads. Excuse me, as we come back up, we're hands down inside of that right foot. And we're just trying to get those hands to the floor. So we've got this nice box shape, and so we're just sort of working into the hip, into the legs. Let's again work the spine, this angry cat. Can you press into the fingertips? With the back leg, can you press into the top of the ankle? Might go light on the knee. But we're trying to really work into the spine, the shoulders down away from the ears all the time, breathing. And the opposite way. And feel free to pulse at a different tempo than me. Try to feel into the body and try to work the spine, move the spine. So we're becoming as deliberate as we can with what our spine is intending to do. And if we get stuck, if we get limited by a movement anywhere, it doesn't matter. We just reach to that edge, whatever we can do. So many times, as a yoga teacher, I get a list of, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, but I know what my body can do, and I'll just sort of stay with my comfort zone. I'm like, that's exactly what you should do. But at the same time, do explore just outside of the comfort zone, because so many times people just limit themselves by going like, I know what I can do and I'm not doing anything else. And then you stay inside a completely comfortable place and you miss the magic. The magic happens when you take a risk. Doesn't want to be a huge risk, but just outside that comfort zone, just as somewhere where you extend yourself that little bit, where you try that little bit harder. where you go like, I'm not quite sure, I don't know, but you can try and make it feel as safe as you can and go there anyway. And it's not about forcing your way through. If you jump off a cliff without a parachute, it's not going to end well. So that's jumping outside your comfort zone. And if you just sort of get closer to the cliff edge until you're feeling like, ah, then maybe one day you'll think, oh, well, maybe I could peer over the edge and maybe I could jump off, but then I'd probably want to use some sort of parachutey thing. Um, where are we going here? The twist. We're going to twist as well. See if we can come up with the spine. We're trying to bring the left elbow across the right leg to twist across. If you could get the armpit to the leg, you get even more purchase. The arm is putting against the leg, legs pressing back against the arm. Right hand can stay on the thigh, or the right hand can work into prayer. We're trying to twist the spine, and we're trying to cat and cow. So that sense of change the spine one way and change the spine the other way. So you might find with all this changing the spine, this working of that torso, maybe the breath is a good speed. So you could inhale one side and exhale the other side, or maybe you want to have an inhale and an exhale. Breath is always a good rhythm to come into. I'm not talking very breathfully today for some reason, but it's a great rhythm to feel in. So see if you can allow the breath to be deep and full. And then let's find our way all the way down. Once we've had a play with all of that, let's see if we can. Um, yeah, let's see if we can bring ourselves. It's going to work a simple Janushirasana for a moment. So we're sort of, let's have the left knee wide, and I can talk left and right, and the right leg extended. We're going to twist towards the left hand, the left leg. And again, like we've been doing before, get the hands on the floor, get the hands stuck. If possible, the arms locked, strong and straight. Not that we're, like, they could be a bit bent, but you're just trying to keep them the same. We're trying not to change the arms. We're trying to push through the arms. So we're seeing, can we push the hands forward into the floor? The arms don't move, so the body goes backwards. And then you're like, oh, how far back can I go? And then the opposite of that is, can I come forwards? So we're seeing, can we open the heart, open the chest, and lengthening. Now, here, if this right sit bone comes off the floor and you're like, sort of, I can work that into the base of the spine, that's really good. We're trying to mobilize, particularly as low down into the spine as we can. So for me, like the right sit bone comes to the floor and the right sit bone comes off the floor. And that mobility in the base of the spine is a really useful thing for this angry cat and happy dog. And it's what we're exploring. It's like, oh, if I stretch into the spine, and if it doesn't move, then we're just limiting our potential for movement here. So we're just seeing if it doesn't move, it's okay, but we're just trying to get it moving as well. If we could move the base of the spine, then we have, it's like changing the foundation. And so then you can build a completely different sort of structure. If your foundation is stuck, which can also be a really good thing, the foundation is solid, then it's like, what can you move on top of that? So you could work it with both sit bones grounded, and then you're trying to see, could the upper spine sort of activate and work more? But I really like this sort of, can you, because the body's quite stable in this position anyway, can you accentuate the movement? Now, like we've done a few times before, we're going to see, can we keep the shape of the spine? But from here, can we try to just do some press ups? We're seeing, can we curl down? So when we're pressing down, we're seeing, could we get the forehead towards the knee? We're pushing into those hands and trying to lift the belly off the legs. So we're keeping that angry cat spine. And then we're pushing back up. We just come back up to angry cat, angry cat arms long. Angry cat arms bent. If you can, shoulders stay down away from the ears all the while. And angry cat arms long. So the angry cat arms bent, we maybe can get the forehead to touch the knee. When we come up, we're still trying to keep that same sensation in the spine as much as we can. So we're not looking up at the head. We're interested in, can I see my belly button? Can I see my belly button? Can I push the arms wrong? And I quite like this. Anyone who has sort of wrist issues, I quite like this because it works the arms quite strong without, it feels to me, without putting weight into the hand. But maybe I'm not a good person to go to with wrist issues because I'm quite lucky. I've got strong arms practice and I've never really had wrist issues, so I might not be understanding of those things so much. Let's see if we can do the opposite of spine. So now we're trying to lengthen into the belly. Now, I'm going to break my rule and say, can we move the hands a bit further forward so that we've got a bit of space? We're trying to lengthen the belly. Now we're trying to fold in by bending the arms, but we're trying to look up rather than down. So not like a surrendering completely. We're sort of trying to get that belly long. And as we come up here, back up with the long arms, each time we go down, see if there's almost a sense of like, oh, I could extend and lift further over the leg into the leg. So we're sort of stretching out the belly to see if we could get the belly further on the leg, deeper to the leg, but looking up. And then if we could come up, and if you could try to lift and extend further forward so that you're trying to just surrender into the belly, surrender into the belly into the leg, but we're trying to get as far down that leg as we can, or the rib cage as far along the leg as we can. And to try to rest into the leg and not angry cat the spine, really. Like we might soften the spine to a more neutral, but we're wanting to get that fold at the hips working as full as we can. And then let's find our way all the way back up. And we just do the same towards the extended leg. Might be much harder towards the extended leg, but we'll give it a go anyway. So we see, can we have hands maybe each side of the knee? Can we angry cats? We're trying to push, and the body's actually trying to go backwards. And then the shoulders are trying to go forward. So there's curling of the spine. If you could, you're tucking the tail under as well, but you're trying to feel the back body stretching, and probably you'll feel the belly working. And then we pull back and we go into that happy dog. We're opening through the heart, through the chest, and seeing, can we, oh, how much could we get the whole spine moving here? It might be that there's quite limited movement. Again, if it's impossible, you might try to have the hands on blocks. If it's really impossible, you might do all of this with the hands out behind you. You're like, oh, can you change the spine? But here, in this class today, I'm going to focus on hands beside the knees a little bit if we can. If that's not accessible, just see what you can work, see what you can find. We're looking for a bit of movement, slow movement, feeling that movement. So we've got this angry cat of the spine, and then is it possible to keep that angry cat and maybe bend the arms, and maybe you could curl the forehead towards the knee, and probably you won't touch the knee unless you've got a super back bend and maybe flexible hamstrings, and we're trying to find angry cat back up and see if we can again work that so the spine stays in its rounded angry cat shape. We're going to head towards the knee, and if you could touch the knee with the head, then you'd be trying to go higher than the knee to the thigh, because there's always somewhere further to go. If you've sort of reached the destination, then you have to find somewhere else to go, because what are you going to do now? You just wait for the rest of us to catch up, or go and play. Find somewhere else to go, have a look, feel in. And then from here, let's just see if we can take the extended leg round behind, so into this swasti position, but the front bent leg is as it was. And that might be a sort of a bit of work here. It's fine if the sit bones come off the floor. It's really impossible. You could have a block under here, but I sort of focus on just allowing the body to move. We're going to fall over to the left side anyway, trying to bring the arms a bit wide. And we're trying to do this arch press up. So we're seeing, could we get the right shoulder reaching towards the left hand and folding into the leg? And then could we do the same the other way? Could we left shoulder towards the right? So we've got this twist and turn, and it'd be working the arms a little bit, so it's sort of good, but it's more than working the arms, much more than that, is it's trying to stretch and twist out the spine. We're sort of seeing how far can we move those shoulders in. Yep. But no harm to sort of feeling in, leaning in with her bent arm, one arm bent. One thing with the arch press up is we're not bringing any elbows to the floor unless it's the inner elbow of the extended arm. So we're not sort of coming down onto the elbow of the arm that's bending. We're trying to let that elbow point over the fingertips if it's possible. And then keeping the legs as they are, we're just going to try to twist it round a little, the upper way around. So we bring the right hand to where the left hand is or close by. We bring the left hand further around and then we try to twist and keeping the legs as they are, we try to arch her again here. So here it might be even possible. It's like, oh, can't get to the floor one side, other side it can do pretty deep. Can't get to the floor one side, other side can go pretty deep. You're welcome to linger in things and go slower. You're welcome to be like, just I understand the archer thing, but I just want to try and get around the corner and just be in that stretch, in that sensation and breathing. And then let's see if we could walk the hands around a bit further. It might not be possible. The right hand towards the left hand trying to reach even further around. Here, your arch is going to sort of vanish on one side completely. The other side probably a bit vanish as well. It's sort of how far around the corner can I go? We're up on the hands, but the arms a bit bent. Let's see if we could drop down to the left elbow. Still trying to twist around, around, around. And breathing. And then maybe we could even drop down to two elbows. And as we try to get there, if you get stuck anywhere along the way, it doesn't matter. When we're getting towards the elbows, leaning into the elbows, you've normally got time on your hands. You can normally, like on the hands, it's like, oh, that's hard work. On the elbows is sort of a bit more of a resting place. So you can drop into the surrender, the being into the stretch, breathe. If you can push into the right elbow, that one day the left arm can come off the floor and go searching for that right foot behind you, then do. And if you can't, it's just about pushing, reaching, and working that right arm into the floor as much as possible. If you are searching with the left hand for that right foot behind you, see if you can look with the eyes that you're trying to twist, also then let everything into that twist. And just don't change the legs being that solid foundation that not moving in this instance. So we've got something to pull against, and then let's find our way all the way back up. And back round to that first place where we had wide of the right, the front left knee. And this time we're trying to just travel the other way. So we're seeing can we bring the left hand towards the right hand and the right hand wide. And here we're seeing can we arch or push up. Yeah, so can we bring the left shoulder towards the right? And can we bring that right shoulder towards the left? And if you wanted to, you could transition through two bent arms. So you could try to stay low and travel side to side. And let the arms be actively pulling and pushing in that twist. And if you want to linger and stay somewhere, absolutely fine. And then let's just see if we can work the other side. We bring our Janushirshasana, left leg long, right knee out to the side. And the things we were doing here, quite a lot of things. We've got the fingers reaching or hands reaching towards the right leg, and we're starting off that change of spine. And here we're looking for mobility. So if the left sit bones can lift in the happy dog, we're trying to get the whole spine opening. Maybe the hands are pulling back towards the hips and the shoulders pulling back and down, the heart chest lifting up and forward. Angry cat, rounding. If you can, tucking the tail under, rolling away from the leg, pushing, reaching into those hands. Sort of pulls the arms forwards, the heart going almost backwards, and then we're working from one to the other. The breath. Sometimes I talk a bit incessantly, and that can be helpful. Can keep a gentle focus. That's sort of both an intention and a meaninglessness to the word, so you can hopefully have the freedom to feel into the body. because that's what we're really trying to do is feel into the body. And then next time we're in that angry cat, keeping the angry cat and seeing if we can stay there, reaching back away from the legs, particularly with the base of the spine, or the tailbone tucking under, but the belly reaching back. Then we're trying to bend the arms to forehead towards the knee. If you could touch the knee, you might try and go higher. We're trying to curl the spine into its littlest ball and stretch the back, and the right side of the belly for me is really working there, and then pushing into the hands, staying in that angry cat. Because what we do with the spine is so important. It really affects what happens. It's the connector. It connects the mind to the body or the brain to the body. And it brings all the sensation from the body back to the brain. That central nervous system, the spine is also the connector between the shoulders and the head. With the left arm and the right arm, the left hip and the right leg. And so if we can stretch out the back, we iron out the fascia, everything will begin to fall into place. If we can get the spine true and long and as untwisted as possible, let's work into that happy dog. So maybe bringing those hands a bit further forwards, that's what feels good for me. And this sense of bending the arms to pull the belly into the leg, but not surrendering down their head so much as trying to rest the belly into the leg. It's trying to get the base of the spine. I'm going a bit further forward again with the hand. As we lift up again wherever we're ready to, seeing if we can stretch out that lower belly a bit more and fold in even deeper to maybe rest the belly against the leg. So just looking to, and if we can rest the belly into the leg, then that sort of almost holds the body in the stretch. And you might find some pinching in the top of the thigh. Maybe you can massage the belly with that leg. And you can go a few more times and working the breath. Can you get any more space? A millimeter of space in the body is huge. If you could find an extra millimeter between anywhere, that's actually huge. And breathing. And then slowly from here, let's just come up to work it towards the extended leg. So we're hands towards the extended leg. Can we find that happy dog and that angry cat? So there's a million things we can do with the spine. And the probably the two simplest intentional shapes we could try to make with the spine are this. If we try to get the head and the tail together one side to make a circle, we've got the head and tail together the other side. So we stretch the spine out. But there's always going to be some sense of twist or S in the spine. With our intention, we just simply work one spine the other. A few moments in class, we were also trying to work this angry cat at the base of the spine, happy dog at the heart. And that's a very simple sort of combination spine, as it were. There's a million things that you could do with the spine. The spine is full of joints. Let's see if we can work the angry cat spine and try to curl in. As if we're trying to curl the forehead to the knee, you may not get anywhere near. But if you can, you're trying to bend the arms and push the belly away from the leg towards the spine to feel the left belly working, the right side stretching. And then as we go up and down, keeping that same shape of spine. And so loads of vertebral joints. And for the spine to be really effective, each part of the spine wants to do a little bit of its job. And yes, you've got the thoracic spine and the lumbar spine and the cervical spine. They're all slightly different in their mobility and their stability. But even so, each part of the spine each vertebral joint wants to have a little bit of movement, and the combination of all those movements. Let's see if we can work into the opposite spine and try to go up and down. Allows a big movement of the spine. Is it possible to happy dog and try to pull the body in? So you're trying to maybe bend the arms, but still trying to pull, trying to lengthen. If you can get deep to the leg, one day it'll be belly to the leg. If you can't get anywhere near there, sometimes just having an intention, you're like stuck. Oh, can't go any further. But having that intention is working one side. And as those muscles get stronger to work that intention one day with regular practice, consistency is the key. But with regular practice, we go deeper and deeper, and the body will open. Don't be in a rush. There's nothing to be gained. So we'll just do a little bit of that Swasti position. So the extended leg, we're just trying to sort of rotate it inwards and bring the foot behind. We've still got the right foot beside the left thigh. And then from here, we're twisting towards that right leg. Seeing again if we can just find that, oh, that angry cat and that happy dog. Just getting that wriggle of spine in, intentional, big as you can movements. And then finding once we've sort of had a little sort of work through that, seeing if we can bring the arms a bit wide, that we can try to just work this archer press up, shoulder towards the opposite hand towards the floor. One arm bent, one arm extending. And then we try to keep the elbows off the floor. It's about the twist and turn and movement in the spine as much as anything else. Conscious movement, aware movement. And then seeing if we can bring the left hand towards the right hand and then the right hand further wide. And seeing again if we can work this archer press up. One side might be fine, the other side a bit tricky. You won't get down so deep. Doesn't matter. We work to the edge. Where's the edge? You're always going to find an edge of something. You'll never keep moving forever. So we see, can we find that edge? We do the bit that we can. And in time, that begins to change. And the sensations that come to surface on the body are letting us know of those changes. Let's see if we can bring that left hand closer to the right hand again one more time. We might not be able to. Right hand further away from the left. Again, can we work that twist and turn? Side to side, archer one side maybe. What's going on in the shoulders? What's going on in the hips and the spine? Breathing, and then let's see if we can keep turning to that right side as much as we can. But can you drop down to the right elbow? And then maybe you can try and drop down to both elbows. And if you can't, it doesn't matter. You just hang out at your edge on the elbows. We can sort of hang out and breathe. See if you can push into the arms, into the elbows if they're down on the floor. Can you get them actively working something into the spine? Keep the legs the same. So that left foot, left knee against the right foot. If you can get down to both elbows, try to push into the left elbow. Maybe the right hand one day can go searching for that left foot behind you. See if you can be twisting, looking for, reaching, pushing into the left arm. If you can't access that, fine to stay down on the elbows or just one elbow. Breathing is really important. Let's surrender onto the arms and then let's find our way all the way back. And as we come back, when we're ready, we're seeing from that starting point of hands, either side of the right knee, maybe we bring the right arm in a bit. We're trying to do the same arches as much as we can towards that left leg. Wow, one side, other side. Feeling, breathing the body. And always feel free to linger in anything. Like if you're feeling something and you're like, oh, I just want a bit longer there, that's absolutely great. Remember that healing power of going slowly. Accidents happen quickly, healing happens slowly. So we see, can we try to slow down a little bit? Let's see if we can Just take a little moment of relaxation. So maybe you want to lie on the back, maybe you want to sit. Excuse me. Really good to take a moment just to absorb all that you've done. So if your body needs some movement, feel free to make those movements. But eventually trying to drop back and seeing if you can tune into this. Well, we want to stop doing. That's what relaxation is. Can you stop doing? And when we stop doing, if we still conscious, then we become that conscious being. It's about being the witness. And that's where the deeper yoga is in being witness. Whatever's going on, simply trying to observe. Observe and not react, not respond. So maybe you can observe the breath and the body on the floor. And if ever the mind is busy, well, just observe the thought. Simply don't grab hold of them. Don't follow them. If we were on a train and something passed by the window, that was a thought. Maybe we notice it, but it's gone. It only really becomes a thing if we jump out the train and go chasing it. That's what the mind does. The mind thinks thought. Like the lungs breathe breath. And the heart beats blood. Even if momentarily you can stop the breathing, you can't stop the breathing altogether. Comes a time where the next breath will take, and it will be a reminder that we're actually powerless to stop the breath. Some really powerful yogis can slow the heart, or maybe even change the temperature in one hand compared to the other. But even they cannot change the nature of what the heart does and stop it beating. Maybe very advanced, might be able to stop the thoughts momentarily. Maybe the spaces between thoughts can become quite far, and the head can become quite quiet. But even then, the mind thinks thought. It's more about learning not to chase them, about letting go. Find a little bit of awareness back to the breath, maybe a bit of awareness back into movement. If you're lying down, that might be fingers, toes, and rolling the hair. Whatever feels the right way in. You might like to stretch those arms out. You might like to hug the legs in. You might like to roll over to the side. You might want to take even longer in your relaxation. Thank you for playing. I hope it's been a good class for you. And take care. See you next time.